Hey, good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this January 22nd version of AM Live on EOA. Hey, we're your connection to Eastern Oregon. If you want to find our content, go to EOA.network. That takes you to a link tree where you can find the location of wherever our stuff is released, Facebook, Roku, YouTube, our website, and then also the podcast network, Spotify. That link is there. Glad that you're here with us. Here in just a little bit, we are going to have Merle Laci, who is the new Grande fire chief. Been on the job about 2 or 3 months now. He's been in the department for a long time, and so that'll be a great conversation. How are you, man?
Good. It's first Friday.
Yeah.
Almost to the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are things?
Good. Just plugging along. Winter time. I'm ready for sunshine. I'm ready for spring already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. It's just such, we say that it's been cold, but it actually has not been very cold. I mean, it's the reason it feels cold is because it's been warmer than normal. It's been almost spring-like, and so. Yeah, the other morning I got up and it was cold. It's like that is just rude.
I could live for a year with no snow.
You could?
As long as it snows in the mountains, yeah. Yep, I'd be good with that.
Yeah, so anyhow. Well, hey, want to do sports?
Let's do it.
All right.
AM Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit. Do you like Star Wars? Check out what they have at Hobby Habit in Grande. Look at that thing. That's I think it's a 1/6 scale K2SO Star Wars droid.
That looks cool.
Makes unique desk decor and spark to any young Star Wars fan's imagination. Hobby Habit in Grande, just for the fun of it. LHS girls basketball knocked off number 3 Baker 47-44 on Tuesday night at the high school gym. The Tiger girls played. They played as a team. It was their most impressive game of the year by far. I think they've struggled a little bit with playing as a team, and on Tuesday night they came together, and that's an impressive win against the Baker team that is extremely talented, and that might be the most people I've ever seen in not back in the days, but definitely since COVID. The most people I've ever seen and the loudest in that gym. It was really cool. It was good. It was a good confidence builder for the girls as they move into the GOL season. The boys battled the entire game. They were up in the first half, but they ended up succumbing to Baker by 10. I want to say it was 67-57. In a game where I would have picked the boys to win. I've picked the boys to win the GOL this year. I watched Baker and Pendleton play last week, and I said, we can beat them. And they started out really well. Like I said, a 12-point lead in the first half. They just couldn't hang on. The LeGrand boys wrestling team took down Nissa 42-27 in a duel last night at the high school gym here in LeGrand. If you see those pictures, that was the MAC Club getting their annual awards in between the JV and the varsity meets last night, and then they also had all the seniors and the 2 state champions from last year, so Kenai and Tommy out in the lobby with the kids signing posters. It was really cool. They head to the research tournament on the west side this weekend. That's a big tournament, and we have Tommy Belding, who has a chance to become the first 3-time research champion in LeGrand history. The LHS boys go to Columbia, Washington next Monday. This is back to basketball. Sorry, I got a little bit ahead of myself. They play Columbia, Washington next Saturday at 6:30 when the girls go to Junction City on Friday at 5:45. EOU men's and women's basketball head to Washington to take on LCSC and Walla Walla over the weekend. EOU women's wrestling is at the Warrior Open in Fort Wayne, Indiana over the weekend, while the men's team heads to the Missouri Valley Invite in Marshall, Missouri. On Tuesday, I told you about Mountie wrestler Kylan Guerra. He got the CCC Wrestler of the Week. Well, on Wednesday, he was named the National NAIA Wrestler of the Week, which, according to my research, this is the first EOU wrestler to ever get that award. We had a national champion. He got NAIA Wrestler of the Year, but I don't think he ever got NAIA Wrestler of the Week. And this was for going 4-0 at the Evergreen Open over the weekend and winning his weight class. It was a nice weekend for Kylan. And Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit, just for the fun of it.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yep.
Well, let's take a look outside. That weather camera, just kind of a little frosty. There was no frost on the snow on the car today, but just kind of a little dreary, a little cloudy. So, and then let's take a look at that weather graphic. Okay, so 23 tonight, 36 today. It looks like it's going to be cold tomorrow night, down to 17.
I mean, I don't feel like there's much of a difference between 23 and 17.
Yeah.
It feels very similar to me. It's cold.
Yeah, it's cold.
It's not
Yeah.
freezing, but it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, it is freezing technically, but
Yeah,
it's cold.
yeah. All right. Well, hey, I have a rant, not kind of a rant, but just a little something I noticed the other.
Better watch it.
Yeah, you gotta watch the rants. Yeah, this is not personal. Well, not gonna name any names, but something I've noticed though is like, so out at Walmart, they have a whole bunch of car spaces that they have designated for grocery pickup, because clearly they're ordering their groceries ahead of time and picking that up and stuff, and I see people parking in those spaces just because, I mean, they're not parking to pick up the groceries. They're parking there just so that they can go in and shop. I mean, and I understand why they do that. It's just, I think it's kind of on the level of not returning your cart. It's like, I don't know. Anyhow, just, I don't know if
I got
anybody else.
bigger problems in my life than who parks where at Walmart.
Yeah, but you know what? Some of the times when you mention things in sports, it's like, that's my opinion too. It's like, yeah, I got bigger problems than that.
I mean, if you're, are you really that worried about where people park at Walmart, though, BC?
I am. I think it's rude.
I
That's
mean,
all.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, when you have, I don't know, 80% of the other population, they're parking in designated spots, where they're supposed to, and then I don't know. I mean, I understand why.
Yeah, I just think I've come to realize that there's always going to be that guy.
Oh, there is. There is, and I guess what I'm just saying is it's the routine part of it that's a little strange at times.
Yeah,
So.
it's just like you said with the cart returning. There's always going to be that guy.
And you know what's funny is that I think for years I have been the person that didn't return the cart.
You are?
Yeah, yeah. And then finally, I figured, I heard something, and maybe it was on the show. It was like, and I thought, you mean that's a real thing?
Yeah.
Not that it's clearly it's a real thing, but I didn't realize that it was important to people, and so then now I make an effort to.
There was a big thing on social media a few years ago about the person that doesn't return their shopping cart.
Yeah, see, so the point is if I can learn.
It's because people judge your ethics by whether or not you return your shopping cart.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, that's just, there was a big thing. I just pulled it up on here, and it says, people judge your ethics on whether or not you return your shopping cart.
Yeah, so, those things are not, they're not life or death, but they do matter. So makes all of our lives a little better.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick commercial, and we will be right back with Merle Laci, the Grande fire chief.
Eastern Oregon is full of interesting people, with interesting minds and interesting things to say. Here at EO Live, we're committed to connecting you to these intriguing people with EO Talks. We let our special guests share their ideas and life experiences with deep, open, engaging, and inquisitive conversations. You'll also be informed in depth on some of the most recent and relevant events, issues, and more. EO Talks on EO Live, your connection to Eastern Oregon, now on Roku. Need something to watch while you sip your early morning coffee before work? Tune in to Eastern Oregon's only live morning video talk show, AM Live, right here on the EOA network. BC and Dodsey hosts while shooting the breeze about local happenings, sports, weather, or whatever else comes to mind, featuring special guests from Eastern Oregon and beyond. AM Live, 8 a.m. every Tuesday and Thursday morning, right here on the EOA network.
All right, we're back. Merle, Laci, hey, how are you, man?
Good, doing well.
Good, yeah.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you bet. And admittedly, you and I mean, we've not, I mean, I think I've seen you in passing, but,
Yeah.
but, you know, us talking, having a conversation, most of it being text,
Right.
about you being on here is
Right.
probably the longest conversation that we've ever had.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
But no, hey, we're glad that you're here with us
Yeah,
today.
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
and thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. Thank you for having me and let me maybe tell a little bit of my story and then, you know, most importantly, you know, about La Grande Fire Department, a few things that are going on.
Yeah.
And maybe a few numbers.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So, yeah.
Well, let's just start with you.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me where you were raised and how you got
Right.
to La Grande. I mean, kind of give me,
So I grew up, my family moved to Elgin when we were 7 years old, or when I was 7 years old. And so I've been in the valley since then. And Elgin is still my hometown. I have a lot of good friends out there, and so but I grew up there, graduated from Elgin High School in 1986, and after that went to work at the mill. I found my wife there at Elgin, and we've been married for a lot of years, and so after that I worked at the mill here in La Grande for 18 years before I actually even started doing this job.
Wow.
As a paramedic and firefighter. While I was working at the mill, my wife actually is the one who got me into EMS. She was volunteering with Elgin Ambulance, talked me into driving the ambulance, and if she would tell the story, I didn't want any part of what happens in the back. I just wanted to be driving the ambulance.
Yeah.
And a couple years later, talked me into being an EMT. I went through became a basic and then an intermediate, and started riding in the back. Next thing you know, I enjoyed it a lot. And so I volunteered with Elgin Ambulance. Same time, I was also on the fire department for 14 years, I believe.
Out in Elgin?
In Elgin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I volunteered with both agencies. Once again, I was working at the mill at that time. I started to see the writing on the wall. You know, the lumber industry was kind of going a little bit downhill, and I enjoyed the fire and EMS portion. So I started taking classes, online classes, through Central Oregon Community College, Chemeketa, anywhere I could get classes to become a paramedic. It came down to one day I had to make that choice whether to keep working, quit, and go to school to finish up my paramedic. And so I did that, and made that decision, went down to Central Oregon Community College, and drove back. Well, I stayed during the week, came back on the weekends because I had a family. I had 2 kids and my wife, and did that during the week. Drove back on the weekends, and did that for about a year, and graduated from Central Oregon with my paramedicine. After that, it was kind of a 3 or 4 month time period where a job finally opened up here in Grande, and I was able to.
And when was
apply for
that? What year?
2006.
Okay.
Yeah, 2006. 6/6 of 06.
Okay.
And
That's scary.
yeah, I know, right?
I wouldn't tell. I would make it 6'5"
Right.
or
Yeah,
7'6".
exactly. It was kind of, but yeah, I was hired on by Chief Weimer back then, and I've been here ever since. I was a firefighter paramedic, and then became a captain for a few years, and then the deputy chief a couple years ago, and now here we are at the fire chief's position.
Wow. He's quite possibly watching right now.
Yeah.
Chief
Yeah.
Weimer.
Yep. Yeah.
No, well, how cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and I love your story, and I love that you are an Eastern Oregon kid. Yeah, you know, I mean, similar to Chief Gary Bell, or you know, I mean, just
Yep.
just
Grew
kind
up
of
here. Yeah.
tried different things, and you know, and made his way up through the ranks, and so
Yeah, it's hard to believe basically 2 careers,
yeah,
you know, and in the same valley. And,
yeah,
And started a little late on the fire and EMS.
Yeah.
If I would have known
right.
years ago, I might have started a little sooner.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed my time at the mill. I have a lot of great friends, people I've met, still friends to this day from the mill and just around town. Just it's a great community, and I love serving it. So
Yeah.
Talk about 2 completely different jobs. Though.
yeah.
Like completely different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, it is. I never would have thought I would be here.
Yeah.
You know, I've just prepared myself for the future. I'd like to tell my guys, you know, always think about the future. You know, where you want to be, and prepare yourself. And so I think I've done a good job of that.
Yeah.
And,
Have you? Is there anything? I mean, what did you do at the mills? Did you do various things? I would imagine.
Yeah, I started at the bottom, just
Yeah.
cleaning up.
Yeah.
And
Green chain?
what's that?
Pulling green chain?
Pulled a little green chain.
Ooh, that's tough.
It was over here, you know, here in town. So I worked in the kilns for
Yeah.
a long time. Worked up in the mill running the edgers, the deck saw.
Yeah.
And when I finished up, I was out at the barkers, clear on the first part of the mill.
Yeah.
So
Was there anything, you know, once you kind of moved into EMS and you were trained, and you know, was there ever a time when you're in the heat of the moment and you're dealing with somebody and trying to save somebody's life or help them, that it's like there are parts of this, there are parts of the mill life that prepared me to do this well? I mean,
Right.
can you
Yeah.
think of any things that?
you know, just you know, working, you know, having like the same types of you know, technical skills, you know, working with my hands, thinking, you know, hey, how do I fix this problem?
Right.
And so that kind of crossed over. I think it just overall working those 18 years made me better prepared out there mentally, and you know, I seen things and lived life and
Right.
and stuff like that. So I think those things crossed over and helped me in the EMS and fire field. So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
and I would imagine also when you're dealing with people, because you're an EMS, you're seeing
Yeah.
people in the worst possible.
Yep.
I mean, they're having a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you being here for a long period of time, you know people. You
Yeah.
know I mean, you know you can read them. Put that, you know. And
Right.
so,
Yeah.
I mean, have you found that to be helpful for you?
Yeah, just talking to people, knowing how to talk to people. Sometimes it's good and bad to be from the area, because sometimes those people you're
friends.
seeing, they could be friends or or even family, you know, sometimes for all our crews here. But yeah, it definitely helped me in dealing with people and how to talk to them. I always try to be nice. That's the biggest thing, you know. Like you said, this is sometimes the worst day of people's lives, and our job is to make it better, to stay calm. Even though we might think it inside, we're trying to figure out what's going on. It's our job to be calm, professional, respectful, and committed to helping these people. So, that definitely helps. Just life skills in general help.
Well, and I think, you know, I mean, and that's a great way of putting it, is the life skills. Because you accumulate those through experience. And, you know, and it doesn't matter what experience. I mean, you've learned to work hard, or you've learned to survive, or you've learned to problem solve. Right. And those life skills can make a lot of difference when you're interacting with somebody who needs help. Right. You know, or you know, I mean, a lot of what fire department and EMS does sometimes is somebody's fallen, or they're in a place, or I mean, there's some problems. So how are we going to get that person out of that situation? You know? Right.
And I was going to talk about that kind of. You know, kind of what we do.
Yeah,
you know, kind of transition from me to there. But like you said, we are our mission is to go and help people. Yeah. It's to, on their worst day, make somebody's day better. Be professional. Yeah. Go out and you know, help them. You know, we do lift assists. We do fire alarms, CO alarms. Yeah. We structure fires. EMS calls are a big thing of what we do. And so that's all in our mission to do that. We do it with professionalism, competence, and just be nice and provide that great service to our community. Yeah. And I think we do a great job of it. Our staff, I can't be more proud of them for what they do every day. Yeah. So.
Well, and let me ask you a question about that, because, you know, we've had, during COVID, you know, we kind of started, I mean, during COVID, there was a lot of pressure on EMS, and then with all the fentanyl mess coming in, I mean, and we spent some time talking about how the call increased in EMS, and how are you seeing, are you having less overdoses? I mean, are you getting less of those calls, do you think, than what you did 3 or 4 years ago?
I would have to look at the numbers exactly, but we have overdose.
I know the number from last year. We had 40 overdoses.
Right. Yeah. And I think they're staying probably steady for the most part. But we have you know, the naloxone that helps. People are you know, the police are helping out, you know, to take care of the overdoses, help us with those. But you know, we do what we can, and to help folks, be nice to them. You know, a lot of times when we see them, you know, we can't do a lot with them. We take them to the hospital if need be, and but overdoses are a big thing, and we're doing what we can. We're working with our doctor on a couple of things I can't comment on right now, but maybe something coming up I'll be able to talk about later concerning that. But it's a big deal, and we need to.
Well, and I guess my only point was a lot of people don't know the amount of load, the extra load that threw on, particularly the fire department.
Yeah, COVID was a big deal. It was tough on our department, as well as all departments in the United States. But there was a lot of stress. The things we had to wear were. You know, it made it hotter. It made it harder to work. You can't see facial expressions. You know, it's just COVID was a time that rough on everybody, and I think we've recovered pretty good from it. But yeah, I would hope not to ever see something like that again, because it was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But
go ahead
all
and
the-
tell me. You were telling me. Go ahead and tell us more about kind of what you what you guys do. And
Oh yeah. So we're a full service department. We do EMS, fire. We do fire prevention. We do school programs with the kids, and so we do some inspections. We've started that program up, and we've done around 300 maybe.
now, what are inspections? In what manner?
Fire inspections. We go to businesses in the
Okay.
town, and we're 2/3 to 3/4 of the way through town, maybe a little more, and we just look at things that would cause a fire, or people can't get out.
Right. Yeah. Impeding exits. Yeah. Okay.
Impeding exits, and so our crews are out doing that, and I'm doing them. When we get the new deputy chief someday, he'll do some. We do it as our as we can, but it's a good program, and that just goes with our mission to prevent fires and people's businesses. You put a lot of work in here. You want to make sure, along with all the other businesses that we can protect that.
Yeah.
It also get our crews out in the businesses, so they know what they're dealing with when if a fire does start. They're not taking. They know what the layout is possibly, or not every crew gets in every building, but at least somebody has.
Yeah. So, and that's the fire marshal part of it. When you walk into a building, it says fire marshal occupancy is. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so then part of that is what you said, just to make sure that that if the worst happens, people can get out, and that there's no unnecessary risks and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So we do those, and we're just a full service department. We're the ALS ambulance service for the county.
Okay.
So we cover from we go out to the county line at Wallowa County, clear up across to North Powder, part of 244, down to milepost 17, I believe. Go up to Meacham, and then Tollgate, and then around. So that is all our area for ALS ambulance services.
And ALS is what?
Advanced Life Support Services.
Yeah.
And so that puts a strain on us, because
So now Elgin though has their own.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anybody who doesn't have one.
Right.
So okay.
And they're a basic life support.
Yeah.
Oh,
They don't have
Elgin and Union.
Okay.
And so we also go if it's something that's falls under the advanced life support. We meet them en route. But it's great to have all these. There's QRTs in smaller in Cove, Island City.
What's a QRT?
Quick response team.
Okay.
Yeah. And so Imbler has one, and they just respond before us. They get toned out at the same time.
Okay.
So they can provide medical treatment before we get there.
Okay. And so, I have a radio that I listen to sometimes. Okay. And there are a series of tones, and that's what you said, toned out, right?
Right.
And so then, so depending on the tone, people are listening, is that my tone, whatever it might be, and then that alerts them to I need to pay attention.
Yeah. And they say their name too, attention, Imbler, QRT, or Imbler Fire. And then they'd have a tone, a special tone for them. So they're great folks. I've known, I was a volunteer myself, so I have a special place in my heart for volunteers, and they give up their time and leave their families at dinners and programs, and so volunteers are very important.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I've worked in a number of on boards, and you had some professional executives and some paid people and some volunteers. And I've had to have that conversation sometimes. Like, you have to understand that volunteer is more precious than you.
Right.
I mean, we can rehire somebody like
Right.
you,
Yeah.
but once a volunteer is discouraged or leaves,
Yeah.
you can't
It's
really
hard
get
to-
them back.
Hard to get them back.
And
yeah.
and you're so anyhow, you're right. Volunteers are super
Yep.
critical.
And
Yeah.
we appreciate their help out there.
Yeah.
You know, our staff is great too, though. I mean, we
Yeah.
have some great, awesome people at our department. Our whole administrative staff to our firefighters, they're great folks. So, and we work good together.
So give me an idea of, the number of calls, the fire calls versus EMS. I mean, how?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, give me an idea of the work burden that you guys. deal
Yeah,
with.
yeah. So we ended up the year last year with 3,346 calls for service. So we have one station. That's a lot of calls.
Yeah.
That we
Just
do.
under 100 a day.
Yeah, yeah. And so we average about 10 a day.
Or, I
And
mean, 10,
10 a day,
excuse me.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's a quite a bit for a one station agency.
Yeah.
Out of those calls, 2,650 were medical calls. So that could be, going out to Elgin or Union, or here in the county, or here in the city. Could be on the freeway. Just everything that we do. So that's a lot of calls.
Right.
Each one of those calls involves, paperwork. There's charts that the guys have to write. So just that takes those 10 a day might take up 10 to 12 to 15 hours of time to take care of, depending on the call or what
Yeah.
it is. So there's a lot of time involved in these, even after the call is over.
Right.
Depending on where we go. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's and then there's the other is about 700, 800 of just other calls, fire related.
Yeah.
Which could be structure fires, wildland fires, fire alarms, CO checks,
Right.
lift assists, just everything that goes in with the other part of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's got to be a burden at times. I mean, just you're on, whether you're there or not, you're really there. You're accessible 24/7.
Right.
I mean,
Yep.
if the fire is big enough, everybody's going to show up.
Everybody's going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're there 24/7,
Yeah.
365,
Yeah.
holidays, weekends,
Yeah.
24/7, and we run a lot of calls sometimes in one day.
Yeah.
Sometimes all those calls we might have a little less on one day, but we get 24 on
Yeah,
the next.
right.
So it's just it's just random how
Yeah.
they.
Tell me about the shifts that guys serve
Yeah.
right now. Yeah, I mean, so you have, they're at the firehouse, you have a place for them to sleep. I mean, they go and they stay there for the length of their shift.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and so kind of tell me what their work shifts are like. Yeah.
Yeah. So the guys work, or the staff works 4896s. So they're there for 2 days.
48.
48 hours.
Okay.
And then they go home for 4 days, 96 hours.
Okay.
So, and it just rotates through the whole year like that. They know exactly what day they're working throughout the year.
Okay.
So they start at 8 and get off 8 2 days later, 8 a.m. 2 days later.
Huh.
And the shifts are, sometimes, the first day, they're very well rested. The second day, maybe not so much, depending on how the night went
Yeah.
or the whole day. But during those days, they do their training. We have a lot of training. I'll have some training numbers for you. But they do a lot of training and preparation for, calls. We've had a lot of paramedics students riders, so they help get those prepared, those folks prepared, you know, to go out and serve the community.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of things that happen in there. We have dorm rooms for them. They're able to sleep at the station when they are not on calls.
And do they each have their own room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They have their own room, and they're able to sleep, you know, at night whenever they have the opportunity. There's not a lot of nights that don't have 1 or 2 calls in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And so they're, you know, the second day can get a little different, but they work through it. They do a good job, get their stuff done, and
Wow.
and
Now-
it's good.
now
They
are there-
eat there. There's not, you know, they have a kitchen.
Yeah.
It's like a home away from home. We
Yeah.
spend about a third of our life away from our
Wow.
families at a different home.
Now, are there dorm rooms specifically theirs, or does it kind of rotate to that? Yeah.
Right, it rotates through the shifts, so there's 6 guys per shift, and they every shift they have their own rooms, and they have lockers they put their stuff in when they're not there, and another guy comes
Got
in.
it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and that's, I don't know, a lot of these things people just don't even think about.
Right,
Yeah.
It's like a home away from home.
Yeah.
When they come.
But they're not, I mean, if they have a kid that has a football game in the middle of their shift, they're there. They have to stay there. Yeah.
Right, yeah. We, over the years, I went, you know, if we're not busy, my kids, you know, went to school
Right.
here, and I was able to go watch a T-ball game for a little while,
Yeah.
you know, until the call came
Well,
in.
you always had the radio with you.
You always
yeah.
have the,
Yeah.
you're always on call during
Yeah.
those times.
Yeah.
And so we do allow some of that, you know, that's good for the families, it's good for morale, it's
Yeah.
good for their, to see that, be out in the community. I like to see them out in the community also.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So supporting the community, especially sporting events and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good.
Well, and people, you know, I mean, just generally people just don't think about those things. I don't, you know,
Right.
I mean, that totally makes sense and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, kind of give me an assessment of like when you know, so you're only how many months on the job now?
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you've been in the
Going on
department.
4.
You've been in the department for a long time
Yeah.
and stuff. So,
Yeah.
and so, kind of, what's been your way of operating so far? I mean, are you just trying to maintain? I mean,
Right.
for me, when I've taken over a job from somebody that's been doing it for a long time, my first goal is like, I'm just going to try and do it kind of as well as what they were doing it.
Right. Yeah. So my goal has been to just, like you said, kind of maintain where we're at. We're building upon what Chief Cornford started, and so that's been my vision for the department, is to, especially for this first year, to not make any big changes, but just to maintain where we're at, get our paramedics through school, get everything settled, you know, that way. We do a lot of training now, so it'll kind of help with some of the getting other things done in the department. And so it's just been kind of, I don't make any, not doing anything major changes to the department. We're doing things right. Our guys are doing everything right. Our administrative staff, we're continuing to keep things going in the right direction. And it's not because I'm afraid to do any changes. It's just we're just going to build upon what we already have. We're doing the right things, and we're taking care of the community. And I just want to keep that going. Doesn't mean in the future we have to look towards the future, where we're going. You know, I did a vision meeting with all the crews and talked about my vision, expectations, and some of that is just keeping going where we're at. You know, doing a strategic plan, getting our new rescue. You know, doing making sure we're mentally and physically, healthy. And so those things, it's early, and we're just kind of working on those things.
Yeah.
So keeping it going. So I'm excited.
So if there are some goals out there, and maybe some of these goals were things that Chief Cornford started, what do you see out there that is a need or a goal or a direction that you hope that you can go that you're not able to do now?
Yeah, some of it is just maybe looking at our staffing. Maybe I don't know how to get there. Because there's always budgetary things that you got to look at. But staffing a little differently or better. I don't know where that's at. I haven't had a lot of time to think strategically for the future. Just kind of keeping things going. It's budget season now.
Yeah.
There's collective bargaining is going on, so it's all kind of hitting at once. So we're just kind of trying to get that taken care of. But some of the staffing, looking at that, making sure we get our paramedics. Hopefully here in the future, we'll have all paramedics except for a couple. And that'll help us, with the workload, spreading across the shifts, so they're not, overworked as much and things like that. So those are some of the things I think Chief was working towards, and I'm going to continue to build upon that.
So let me ask you. So the EMS and fire, they have a union. Once you become administration, are you still a part of that union?
No.
Okay.
No,
and so I mean, is that
yeah,
so? You've been booted out of the union.
Yes.
But now you're in this place of I mean, is that?
Yeah.
I mean, what is that experience like for you now? Are you just trying to figure that out?
I'm just trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Because I've been on the other side.
Yeah.
And I don't like to look at it as sides. We're
Right,
just trying
right,
to do what's best for our people,
Yeah.
for the city, and just working together to do that. And I think with myself and John are working towards that, and I think it's good. We just want to do what's best for everybody.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I know that Chief Bell, Gary is in the same. I mean, same thing. Once you become administration, then you're. Yeah, no, I totally get what you.
Yeah.
But I would imagine there's a little bit of a head change in there that you.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You gotta. I want to look out for my people.
Of course, yeah.
But we have to look out. I'm also administrative of a lot of the budget.
Yeah,
process.
you got to make the numbers
I got to
work,
make the
right?
numbers work and things like that. So it does. You got to have a little bit of change in how you think and things like that. So
how are you guys doing equipment-wise and facilities and?
I can talk about that. Yesterday. We had a new signboard put in, so if you're driving by the station there, it'll be an electronic signboard. We'll be able to put up some fire prevention stuff, some slogans and quotes. We won't have to have our old one where we had to put the letters up, and so
the suction cup,
right, exactly. Captain Tibbetts has worked on that. And with the city and administration and finance and everybody that's been involved in that, but they got it on yesterday. It hasn't been turned on, so I don't know where we're at with that part of the project. But it'll be great to get our message out, and you'll see it from island there. You can look over and see it. It's pretty big.
Good.
So.
You can put cop jokes on it.
There you go. Yeah. Chief Gordford's the one you got to talk to about that. Yeah.
I know a few of those.
You could put a big donut on it and say, meeting, all staff meeting here. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some fun over the years.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah. But it's, that's a good thing. So, we're excited about that.
And your trucks and the facility, I mean, the building itself is I don't know, fairly new, right? I mean, 20 years or so?
20 years, 25 years.
Yeah.
So we're in my...
I mean, I say new, that's not, but
right.
you know.
Yeah,
yeah.
we have some things we need to look into, and I'll get with, we're going to start, we're in our strategic plan, try to come up with some of those things we need to start scheduling to fix, you know, painting, or if we need new cabinets, new flooring, new, just things like that get old after a while.
Do the firefighters all do that themselves?
You know,
I know they cook, and, you know, like clean and all
right,
that.
yeah, we do the, you know, cooking, cleaning there.
Yeah.
But as far as projects like that, we try to hire it out.
Do you?
Just because of the fact we can do small projects, but you get anything bigger and it's hard for them to do. They already have plenty of things to do without that. So anything big, but our facility is pretty good. We just have to do some maintenance, you know, asphalt, concrete work. You know, after a while it does wear out, and so we'll look at that here in the next year to get that squared away.
I've never been in that building. Is it 2 stories?
Yes, it's 2 stories.
Is there a pole?
Yeah, we do have.
I was going to ask that question.
The old station, they did take the pole and put it over there.
They did? I was wondering what happened to it.
It gets used occasionally. You know, we can use it.
Yeah.
It gets you down to the first floor quicker, but
quite a bit quicker.
Yeah, instead of going down the stairs. But, not everybody uses it, but it is there. So something to talk about for tours. You know, when people come through, they ask about it. So and that came from the old station.
Yeah.
Cool.
So talk to me about volunteers for a minute, and how you guys work with the other fire districts. I mean, just talk to me about that whole system.
Right. Yeah, we have what's called a box alarm system that when anything big, especially structure fires, get toned out, we have a box alarm system where Island City and us are dispatched together, and they're a volunteer station, and they supplement us, or we actually, you know, we get, if they have something in their area, we work to help them too. So we work closely with all the volunteer agencies in the county, but our box alarms basically determine who gets dispatched. You know, if it's in Union, you know, Island City, Cove, they all get dispatched. It gets a lot of people coming because with volunteers, you know, they have jobs during the day, so you don't know who's gonna be coming. So getting a lot of people dispatched for something, you can always cancel them if need be. So we work closely with them. You know, like I said, I was a volunteer.
Yeah.
I have a place in my heart for volunteers. A lot of the volunteers out in the county, I've known for years, and so they're great folks, and we work closely with them.
Now, I'm trying to remember right, so you have staffing all the time for 2 ambulance calls simultaneous, is that?
Correct.
But if there's a third one, then you've got to call, where do those people come from?
So we can, if we have everybody's there that day, we can actually do 3.
Like everybody's
3 ambulances.
okay, yeah.
If everybody's in the station, nobody's off on vacation or
okay.
anything like that. If we get 2 ambulance calls at once, which happens more often than not, you know, these days, then we call for standby and try to get people come in off duty.
Yeah, so
and
then
you have somebody there just in case.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and to respond to fires and
how often does that happen? A double call?
Double calls, I'd have to look at the numbers, but happens
roughly.
It happens, you know, maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh wow.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe not that much. I'd have to definitely run the numbers to find out for sure, but it's more often than it was when I first started.
I'm sure.
And even third out calls, we're getting some of those, you know, where we have 3 at a time out.
Yeah.
So it can be taxing on some days. The captains do a great job of, you know, they have to coordinate all that, and they do, and our actings have to do that at times too. So,
do you think Is it because we're an aging population? I mean, what is your sense
more
of?
calls, right?
Yeah. You know,
Not a growing population, that's for sure.
Yeah, the population has stayed about the same, but aging plays into it, and aging definitely is a big part of it, I think. And we go to, you know, we have some facilities we go to, you know, we do transfers, a few transfers with Lifeline and things like that. But, you know, accident wise, we cover we cover the whole county. So we have, you know, there's accidents, there's just straight up medical calls. Yeah, it's just I think that could play a part in it.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have to.
Well, hey, is there we'll quit here in just a second, but is there anything else that you want to make us aware of that, we didn't cover?
No, I think we covered a lot of that. I think we covered a lot.
Yeah.
But I just want to, you know, shout out to our staff.
Yeah.
You know, they're a great group of folks, and I appreciate everything they do every day. They work hard, dedicated, committed to providing great customer service, and I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
2 quick questions.
Yes.
And you can back to back. Mm-hmm. Hardest part of your job and the greatest part of your job.
Hardest part?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, for me personally, or for the guy?
No, for you.
For me, you know, there's just some of the decisions I have to make is harder. Going from the deputy chief to the chief, there's a lot of decisions I make every day that I didn't have to. Yeah. The best part is I get to work with a great group of staff that help me every day. I learn from them every day. Every day is a learning experience. So they teach me. I try to give whatever I can to them and support them. So that's probably the best part of it, just supporting our people. So
kind of looking back on your journey, growing up in Elgin and working in the mills, and then getting involved in EMS. And did you ever think that you would be the chief of the fire department? Is that
not one thought?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just incredible how the journey goes.
Yeah.
I never would have thought. So
You never know.
You just never know, and that's why you always be prepared.
Yeah.
And look forward. So
yeah. Well, thank you, man.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to get us out of here?
Yeah. On this day, January 22nd, 1947, the first commercial TV station west of the Mississippi, KTLA, begins broadcasting. 1970, the first commercial Boeing 747 flight, Pan American World Airways, flies from New York City to London in 6.5 hours. 2002, Kmart Corporation becomes the largest retailer in United States history to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. 2018, Netflix becomes the largest digital media and entertainment company in the world, worth $100 billion. I would have never thought, you know, when Netflix came out, these little, DVDs in the mail would ever be what it is now. It's crazy. 2018, the U.S. government ends a 3-day shutdown after an agreement in Congress to extend funding. The number one movie in America on this day in 1996 at the box office, Toy Story. Quote of the day comes from Einstein. We cannot solve problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. One more time. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick. So Bud says, wow, we could get a billboard showing you leaving your cart at Walmart.
I mean, I can see you, not ethically, but like just, you like to leave stuff. I could see you as a cart leaving kind of person.
Yeah, well, I mean, my personal opinion is like, they're guys, and that was their whole job, is to go collect carts, and I mean, so anyhow. See, I can learn. If I can learn, you can learn. Hey,
A billboard with BC, they can drop in a cart off at Walmart.
Yeah, all righty. Hey, we'll see you guys soon.